Benson, welcome to the podcast. Thank you so much for taking the time out to speak to us. Where are you at the moment, and how are your preparations looking for 2026?
Welcome. I'm in Kapsabet training camp, now preparing for the next season marathon.
Yeah. And you've got I think you've got a 10K coming up, haven't you? Which is a little bit of a tune-up just to see where you're at.
Yes. I have a 10K in Spain next weekend. That's 18th of January. I will be using it as a preparation for my next marathon.
Yeah, and we're excited to see what that is, but we're keeping it a secret at the moment. Of course, you most recently won the New York City Marathon. It was an amazing race. How was that experience for you?
It was so amazing winning I will say, the three major American marathons, and it was more historic to me. I was so excited winning one of the most famous marathons in the world.
Yeah. And tell me about how you had to try and keep calm to get to that finish line, because it was such a tight finish between you and Alex Mutiso.
It was so tight that during our training, I was well prepared to run up and downhill, and I knew Mutiso was a strong guy, and I said perhaps maybe we have to start earlier to pick up the pace and to see who responds well, and what might happen at the last stages of the race. And when I decided to make a move, Mutiso was right behind me, and I never bothered him. Maybe I focused on my own, and I knew something will come.
It was so exciting to see a finish like that, and it followed a bit of a trend that we saw last year, because both of the World Championship marathons were also very close on the line for the women's and the men's race. For you to finish the New York City Marathon like that, it kind of it was the perfect way to end the marathon majors last year, really.
Yeah, sure. It was so exciting, like finishing a marathon like track and field. It was one of its kind. I never ran a marathon like this. It was one of my best moments in New York.
Yeah. And you've mentioned already you made history. So just to clear that up for anyone that's listening that doesn't know, you're the first man to win all three US major marathons, and that must feel very special for you.
Yes, it's so special for me. I'm so happy for that. I like running in American soil. It has become my second home. Whenever I step in a major marathon in America, I know I could run mostly finishing on the podium, but also probably winning the marathon.
Yeah. I mean, those three marathons in America are very different, aren't they? In terms of the fact that Chicago is flat and fast. We know that Boston is net downhill, but very hilly in the second half. And New York is very tough at the end, isn't it? Was that maybe one of the toughest big marathons that you've run?
Not really. I see Boston is somehow tougher than New York, but I find it interesting because many people say New York is tougher compared to Boston. But this comparison also depends on your preparation on individual basis.
Mm-hmm. So, and that's all about how you're building up into that race, of course. And I guess, I mean, you're perfectly located, aren't you, in Kenya to work on some of those hills, and so you do feel that Boston is trickier. Is that because it's so different, one half to the other?
Yes, Boston is more tricky. It needs well preparation before you go to Boston. But the tricky part is not running up here. It's the downhill, which many people find it different or hard. to run downhill. And that is why I normally run good in Boston, preparing well like in Kenya or in Kapsabet, running downhill. And it's a technique to run downhill that will make you run good in Boston.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that I think a lot of people don't really talk that much about, actually, rather than the downhill rather than the up. Can we come back to some of your best moments in a moment? Let's go back a little bit, if we can, to get to know a bit about you as a person a little bit more, because we don't hear a lot from you in the English language media anyway. So when you were a child, what was the life like for you growing up, and how did you find your way into running?
First of all, I was born in a rural area, somewhere not far from in Nandi, and I went to school, primary school as a kid. While running was in my in my body since when running to school and going back to home in the evening. And I school in a day school, primary school. Up to my secondary level, I was in a day school, running up and down to school and back home. And running was never in my mind. I only ran small races like cross country during school competitions. But after finishing my Form 4 level in 2011, this is when I made a try, like, let me try like running as a normal, like people who are running. I had a guy who was not far from my home. I saw him running and I approached this guy, like asking him, where are you training? Like, I don't see him more often because he was training in Kapsabet. So Kapsabet was a bit far from where I was. And I asked him, I approached him one day, like, so how is the training? And he explained me some things like running is paying, running is a career, running is. So I started running, but not the professional one. I was running, I was a farmer, I was a businessman.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy,
When,
yes.
I was going to say, when someone said running is pain, did that? What
Yeah,
was your reaction to that? Oh no, thank you.
I said, let me try. If it pays,
Mhm.
I will see. And I started training in rural area alone, nobody, no company. And this guy knew a coach who was by then assistant coach to Claudio, who is my coach now. He was not also far from my rural area. And I continued training. That was running like 20 kilometers per day only, and continuing with my activities like farming, small scale farming. And
Mhm.
I had a small shop in the rural area. Until 2015, when I asked this assistant coach, let me come to Kapsabet to see how training is and I can join you people. And he told me, yes, you can join us and you stay outside around the camp. You simply come, rent a house, and you will join the training program. That is when I came now to Kapsabet in 2015, December. And I joined this group. Up to now, I'm still here training.
Mhm.
And 2016, that is almost 6 months after, I was given a chance to go to Kigali Peace Marathon in Rwanda to run a 21K. I went to Rwanda without a passport. I was using an ID, and I was at the border of Uganda. I was given a temporary permit to enter Rwanda by bus. That's by bus, not by flight like
Mhm.
now.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I went to Rwanda. I ran this 21K, and eventually I won. Winning now gave me morale. Like, I know now I can run with the guys. I can compete not only in Kenya but maybe outside Kenya. But this time not in Europe or something, but also in our local countries like Uganda and Rwanda. So I was more motivated. And after I came back, trained well, continue with my preparation, and I was given a chance to call to a marathon in Athens, Greece. And I trained well before this marathon, and reaching this marathon, I was second, beaten by one guy at 41. I almost won this marathon, and I was
Mhm.
second eventually. And now after this marathon, I saw it. Yeah, it can work for me. So in my early age, I never ran a track and field or cross
Yeah.
country or something like this. No, I only trained. I went for this 21K, and direct I went to marathon.
So you could say you're a natural talent then, Benson, because you've just discovered you've gone straight into these races and you've been extremely competitive. Did you find it then? It's a sort of simple way of saying it, but did you find it quite easy? Do you feel like it came to you very simply? I know you had to work very hard to get to that level, but was it just something that felt like it suited you from the start?
I I think the way I tackle the training and the way I came to calm, stay disciplined. That's what paid early, earlier than other people that they end at the camp, train for 1 year, 2 years. That's why I came, adapted the training, and stay disciplined, calm, without any pressure.
Hmm.
That's what it paid me earlier than the other people.
Hmm.
Yes.
And was there anyone that you really looked up to in the running world whilst you were coming through, whilst you were sort of honing your techniques?
I was watching races like the major marathons, um, Boston, Chicago, New York, London, and I saw Kenyans winning.
Mm.
And I said, one day I will be one of those running. And I saw Eliud Kipchoge running Berlin, London, and I said, one day, one time, I will be like Eliud. And I continue working hard to make sure I meet Eliud. And for now, I have met him. We have talked. He's a good guy. He's my mentor.
I think it's underestimated sometimes just how much of an impact Eliud had on Kenyans who dream of becoming a professional runner. I mean, he has a huge impact, doesn't he, on your generation and the generation below you. People all look up to him, but people are going to look up to you as well now, Benson, because they'll see you winning these races, and you'll have that same effect on young Kenyans too. Do you feel that?
Yes, yes. For now, I'm passing also to this attitude, like the advice to the younger generation that they are coming up. Like Eliud now is advising us, is motivating us, like run well, run like this, run clean, run. So we are also. I am one of those responsible for the upcoming athletes, for the younger generation coming up.
Hmm. Um, a lot of people will be quite interested in how your weeks look, how your sessions look. You are one of the world's best marathon runners. There's still a lot to come from you. So, what does a typical week look like for you, training wise, in terms of the volume, the sessions you put in, the strength training you do?
For us, we have a training that I would say we have adapted uh, to it, and we have a session like track. Now we have a short speed, a long speed, and a long run. So um, our training week looks like uh, we we can have a track. We can have a track like 400 times 20 or 25. We
Hmm.
recover 2 days. We have a longer speed like 1 kilometer variations or repetitions, like 1,000 times, maybe 12 or 14. And then after we recover for 2 days, we have a long run. So that's how a long run is from 30 kilometers, 35 or 40, depending on the coming race. So that's how we have a cycle of training cycle.
Hmm.
That
And
depend
and the rest,
depending
quite a lot
on
of
the
his,
system. Sorry.
yeah. And you do quite a lot of Kenyans are very good at, and Europeans are not very good at this, especially at an amateur level. But Kenyans do a lot of quite slow running as well in your easy days, don't you? Easy really is an easy pace. I think it's something that people need to learn a lot more from.
Yes, after a session, the following day morning, we ran an easy pace and longer, easy and longer. Like we can run a pace of 3:55 or 4:00 per kilometer for 20, 22, or 25 kilometers as part
Mhm.
of the
Which will be,
recovery, as part of the
yeah.
recovery of previous session. Yes.
Yeah, which will be fast for quite a lot of other people. Your coach, Claudio Baridelli, you're in his office right now, so you probably have to be quite kind about him anyway. But what is the biggest strength that he has to bring the best out of athletes?
First of all, I would say, Coach, we are lucky, or I am lucky to have him as my coach. I would say because he started in the university of like how to handle the athletes or how to handle the training program. That's why he understands the athlete better, because he knows the physiological process going on in an athlete, and he can understand well when you are not producing well, when in a certain workout you don't run well. He can come to approach you like, what happened, what's going on. It's a kind of tough and also friendly at the same time. And the second thing is that he has been a coach for such a long time, so now he's more experienced. When we are running like the major cities now, and the other guys, they are running the marathon, what he has, remember, he has all athletes in all the fields, like
Mhm.
800 nyonyi, some people running 21K, other people running marathon like me, and also the categories of marathon, like the major marathon, the tier 1, tier 2. So he has open-minded, like, and also he has the training program which is suitable for each individual athlete.
Yeah. So it's not
That's
one. It's not that. That's the thing, isn't it? I think that's all of his experience as well. It's not about one thing works for every athlete. It sounds like he really listens to you all as well to make
each
sure that he'll check in and make sure that if something's not right, then something will be changed. And it's
yes,
very
yes,
individual.
individual level, exactly.
Yeah, because the group that you train with is basically one of the most exciting in this sport. At marathon level, you training with the likes of Evans Chebet and Sebastian Sawe. Do you all get on very well? And how much do you? Well, I imagine you do, but you must all really push each other to improve.
Yeah, sure. The group helps a lot in training, like you mentioned some of these guys. Um, Sebastian Sawe, one of the best or one of the fastest men. Um, we train together as friends, but also in some sessions we push each other, and each individual athlete knows the capacity to respond or to push or to. So it helps a lot training with a group. They say the power of a group is in each individual, and the power of individual is in the group. So we associate together well, helping each other. Um, Also, we have some speed work that when other people are more faster than others, and so you have to stay behind. They push you to attain certain speed, and also same in the long runs. Like many people, other people they run well a long run, and others they follow, and we push, helping each other.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of
Also,
praise for the likes of Sebastian at the moment because he's so open with how much he's been tested, for example, to make sure that everyone can see, when everything we're doing is clean. And there's a lot of talk about him maybe breaking the world record one day, the record set by Kelvin Kiptum. And what do you think? Is it something that he could get close to? Is it something you'd like to get closer to?
it was a nice, nice thing. Like it was good for us also as a group to test Nani Sebastian, but we are also aiming to that direction. Like if resources are available, they can even come to test each one of us. Like now, for even me, I'm ready for this.
Mm.
It only started with Sebastian because we had a plan in Tallinn, but now we are appealing to the authorities that if resources are available, you can come train, so test each one of us. Maybe you start at the top level and maybe you follow, so that people will not doubt us when we win the big races. People will not doubt when we break, let's say, records or even course records. When we run faster, people will believe us that we run clean.
Does it? I mean, that's really important, and it's great to hear that, Benson, and because people want to have full faith in what they're watching. Does it upset you when you don't have to talk about individual cases, but when you see other Kenyans who have achieved things, you know, other fellow country people that when they are banned and caught, does it upset you because it's sort of putting a shadow over your achievements because people might assume other things? It's a sad place to be, isn't it, when you're having to be like that. You have to say, come and test us to show that what we're doing is real,
Yes, sure, you're right. Because many people are maybe making our name outside there to look that we look not we like all of us now we are maybe doping or something like this. That's why we are ready for these people to come and test, because we see many Kenyans outside being tested or being banned because of using doping. And we are appealing to the authorities that they come and test, and so that the people can understand we can run clean, we can win big races clean, we can do this and this and this, so that whenever you run outside there and they say he's a Kenyan, remember, he's a Kenyan, that name, yeah,
Yeah,
we need to
that's
clean
great.
this. We need to clean this spot, and not always to say like it's like the other one he was caught. It's like the other one. No, no. We need to clean the doubts, and we run clean.
Yeah, brilliant to hear. And just some more. So let's talk about some more happy stuff then. I mean, in terms of the world record, that's always talked about. What do you think? Can it be beaten by someone in your group soon? Do you think it can go?
When we work well, we plan well, it can be broken. That's what I will say now.
Okay, all right. We'll keep it there for now. And we talked a bit about the major marathons, but you also won an Olympic medal in Paris, bronze in the marathon. There you represented Kenya rather than yourself for the first time. How different was that feeling? How proud was that moment for you?
It was so good for me to represent my country. This was my first time to represent a country going abroad. Not individual, as you said, but representing a country. That's my country. And I felt good. I felt privileged to go up outside there to represent my country. And I was happy for the results, coming home with bronze. That was my target, was to come home with a medal. That's representing my home country. And it was so nice to represent a country, like you said, not running for money, but running for a country. That's so powerful. Like you have a flag of your country, that is, and we have to defend a country more so before or money aside, the country first.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I bet that medal is very a prized possession. Do you keep that somewhere very safe?
Yes, I keep it very well, and it will be. It is a history for my generation, for my kids, and everyone in our camp. Also, if he wants to see it, it's
Mm.
okay.
Despite your success and despite many success of many Kenyan athletes, the lifestyle is still so humble. Um, for many of you, I mean, you've talked about the farm and everything else as well, and you never forget where you come from, and there's a lot of money in the sport, especially in the major marathons when you're winning them. So, how easy is it to avoid sort of the temptations to live a more lavish lifestyle, but to carry on being so humble?
I think I will say because we started, the first thing that makes us humble is where we come from. We come from a humble backgrounds, so we don't forget where we come from, despite having success, many successes. Like you have built your house, you have built your career for long, you have attained, you have some money. We have to stay where we started. We have to stay humble. The only thing that
Yeah.
the most thing that taught us to stay humble is the background, the life before we ran. It was so humble, and we still stay humble like that.
Yeah, that's great to hear, and I think it's also something that a lot of other sports people from around the world in other sports can also learn from as well, because I guess it makes sure that you keep on having goals within the sport that mean enough as well. Um, and on that, you've been so consistent since 2022, really, just in amazing form. A lot more to come from you, though. What are your goals over the coming years? How far ahead do you set targets?
Um, my goal now is to continue running on the major marathons, and in 2028 Olympics,
Mhm.
if I will be selected to represent my country, is to upgrade my medal. I don't know where, but
Yeah.
to upgrade. Yes,
Yeah, better than bronze. You're saying basically, make sure you try and get up. But that's still an amazing achievement. Would you do the World Championships perhaps in Beijing, or is that not really on the agenda?
not really on my agenda. Yeah,
No. Yeah.
only thing.
Um, okay. All target major marathons in LA, and yeah, we wish you the best of luck with that. Just before we go, the last few questions. Morton, we share a sponsor with them. How much have their fueling products changed the way that you're able to train and race since you started working with them?
It has it has changed our training, like the muscles now, or we have a lot of energy now training and also during the race. You know, initially we didn't have this fuel and something. Now we are using modern gels, modern mixture, modern carbohydrates. You know, now it has the effect on the running and also training before we go for competitions.
Hmm. Did it take some time to get used to the products, really? Because we talked about before on this podcast how the drinks can be um, quite difficult. They were quite difficult to sort of get down you very quickly, especially when you're racing, like learning that technique. It's underestimated how difficult it is sometimes to take on that
Yeah,
much fuel.
yeah, sure. Many people they have difficulties in this, like getting a drink, doing this. But for me, I'm used to train to taking, like you take from the table, you how you drink, how you mix. I know it. I know these things, and we are now learning at our camp. Like everyone should know how to mix, how to go and grab from the table during the race, and how much you have to squeeze to drink into your mouth, like, and to also to quickly enter into your system to give you more energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Benson, it's been amazing speaking to you. It's been great to get a little bit of insight into the way that you work and a bit more about yourself as well. The last thing to ask you before we go, if you could give one piece of advice to a marathon runner, any runner looking to improve their times, one bit of advice, what would you say?
patience, pace, train well, be patient, stay humble, stay disciplined. You will achieve your goals.